Consider the scenario where you invest all your effort into gaining a woman's respect, only to see it elude you despite your sincere attempts. Numerous men wrongly assume that relentless kindness, lavish gifts, and unwavering attention are the secrets to winning a woman's esteem. However, the harsh reality is that this strategy not only falls short of your objective, but can also swiftly result in your own emotional decline. In this video, we will directly address this misunderstanding by combining Stoic philosophy with actionable insights. We will explore ways to eliminate a woman's disdain and instill a sense of regret for her behavior, all while remaining authentic and preserving your dignity. This approach is not about manipulation or revenge. Rather, it focuses on restoring your self-respect and establishing firm boundaries. Get ready to defy conventional thinking and learn how to seize control of your circumstances. This journey is not for the timid. It is meant for those willing to adopt a Stoic perspective and enhance their relationships. If you are prepared to reclaim your strength and command the respect you rightfully deserve, please like, subscribe, and join us as we navigate the journey to eliminate disdain and rebuild your self-esteem. Let's get started. Firstly, the well has run dry. Let's get straight to the point. You are accountable for the disrespect this woman has shown you. How did this happen? By placing her on a pedestal, lavishing her with gifts, providing constant attention, and making empty promises. You have deluded yourself into believing that these actions will somehow restore the respect she has already discarded. However, the stark reality is this. This strategy is not only flawed but also destined for failure. Every time you use your hard-earned money to indulge her desires, and every time you go out of your way to satisfy her, you are conveying a distinct message. You are demonstrating that she can easily manipulate you with minimal effort. Your behavior indicates that all she needs to do is exhibit a hint of indifference or a bit of aloofness, and you will eagerly rush to provide even more. She has discovered that she can achieve her desires with little effort by taking advantage of your need for her approval. Rest assured, she will continue to do so as long as you permit it. From a Stoic viewpoint, this conduct is not only harmful to oneself but also represents a relinquishment of your personal strength and dignity. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-respect and highlights that seeking validation from those who do not appreciate us is ultimately futile. A woman who demands bribes for respect is not merely engaging in playful tactics, she is manipulating you with intent. She is fully aware of her actions. By continuing to support this dynamic, you are only deepening your emotional dependency. So how can you alter this situation? The solution is to adopt a Stoic mindset. Pause. Cease your efforts. Consider the futility of investing your time, money, and energy in someone who evidently does not appreciate you. By withdrawing your support and cutting off the resources she relies on, you diminish her ability to control you. Once she recognizes that her strategies are no longer working, she will likely feel bewildered and uncertain about her next steps. This will lead her to wonder why you are no longer reacting to her signals. This is the moment when the balance of power tilts in your direction. A Stoic individual who recognizes the distinction between authentic interest and that driven by financial motives cannot be easily deceived. It is essential for you to cultivate this emotional awareness and apply it without delay. Cease being the source of financial support, the caretaker, or the one who is taken for granted by someone who has only treated you with disdain. By choosing to step away from this situation, you are not only safeguarding yourself from additional disrespect, but also restoring your self-respect. Persisting in efforts to earn her respect and affection will only lead to a future filled with ongoing disappointment and a lack of respect. She will persist in mistreating you, fully aware that she can do so whenever she desires something from you. The responsibility for this situation, my friend, will rest entirely on you. Secondly, showing indifference. From a young age, we learn that overlooking negative behavior while reinforcing positive actions is essential in various aspects of life. This principle applies whether we are training animals or managing interpersonal relationships. However, numerous men often overlook this essential lesson in the context of romantic relationships, especially when a woman begins to exhibit disrespect. Let us pause to consider Stoic philosophy, which highlights the importance of self-discipline, inner resilience, and the strength of one's own mind. When faced with a woman's poor treatment, what is your immediate reaction? For numerous men, the instinct is to pursue her fervently, attempting to reclaim what they perceive as being lost. This is where a significant error occurs. Rather than responding with emotion, a Stoic would recommend cultivating indifference, which is one of your most powerful assets. Consider this scenario. You are in a relationship with someone who begins to undermine you, showing you disdain. Your instinct may be to exert more effort to gain her approval, believing that this will help repair the relationship. However, this approach merely strengthens her negative behavior. By doing so, you communicate that you will remain available regardless of how she treats you, constantly seeking her validation. This is a significant error from a Stoic perspective. Instead, adopt a stance of indifference, not only towards her disrespectful actions, but also towards the person she is evolving into within the relationship. By taking this action, you compel her to face an uncomfortable truth: the loss of control. Individuals, particularly those who are used to being in charge, dislike being overlooked. When you pull back your attention, it initiates a significant transformation. She starts to recognize that the strategies she has employed, possibly influenced by friends or self-proclaimed relationship gurus, are not working. Her efforts to manipulate or demean you are only causing you to distance yourself further, rather than bringing you closer together. This marks the beginning of a significant change. As you withdraw your attention, you reclaim more control over the dynamics at play. She begins to understand that her actions, instead of maintaining her influence, are actually driving you away. This understanding can serve as a significant trigger for transformation. She might start to reevaluate her behavior, not due to a sudden surge of admiration, but because she acknowledges that the prospect of losing you is genuine. If your goal is to make a woman regret her lack of respect for you, the approach is straightforward yet impactful. Cease directing your attention towards those who do not merit it. Demonstrate through your behavior that you are not someone to be overlooked or manipulated at her convenience. Once she realizes that your interest has waned, she will likely feel remorse for her choices. Ultimately, it is her responsibility to show that she appreciates and respects you. If she fails to do so, you will be more than willing to move forward, assured of your own value. In this manner, you exemplify the Stoic ideals of self-respect, resilience, and emotional stability. You choose not to allow yourself to be manipulated or disrespected, which not only helps you reclaim your strength, but also garners the respect you rightfully deserve. Number 3, reclaim your personal power. When a woman disrespects you or disregards your feelings, it can seem as if her judgment defines your value. However, the truth is that you are inadvertently giving away your personal power to her. This is more important than it appears at first glance. You are permitting her to influence your feelings, choices, and ultimately your existence. In Stoicism, this stands in stark contrast to our goals. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of retaining control over our thoughts and behaviors regardless of outside conditions. The key turning point occurs when you decide to reclaim what has always belonged to you. Your control over your life begins with grasping a fundamental Stoic principle. No one is entitled to diminish your dignity or regard you as unworthy of respect. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasizes that our true power lies within our minds, not in external circumstances. When you fully accept this idea, you come to understand that her disrespect is simply an external occurrence, one that does not affect your intrinsic value unless you permit it to do so. To regain your personal strength, it's essential to reassess your priorities and set clear boundaries. Do not allow her lack of respect for you to influence your choices or behavior. You have nothing to demonstrate, particularly to someone who does not recognize your worth. The crucial point is to acknowledge your inherent value, which is not contingent on others' perceptions, but is fundamentally tied to your true self. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that the significance lies not in the events that occur, but in our responses to them. This philosophy does not endorse rudeness or revenge. Rather, Stoicism encourages us to transcend such trivialities. It is about asserting control over your life and striving for what you truly deserve. By prioritizing your personal development and well-being, you cultivate a more insightful perspective. You come to realize that your value is determined not by her or anyone else, but by the criteria you establish for yourself. When you regain your personal strength, her opinion no longer affects you. Ironically, this is when she may begin to recognize what she has lost. The control she previously exerted over you fades away, forcing her to face the truth that her influence is no longer as significant as she once believed. The key takeaway is that by reclaiming your personal power, you begin to draw in individuals who genuinely respect and appreciate you. For those who understand their value, it is essential to recognize that true importance does not come from diminishing others. This mindset paves the way for genuine emotional liberation and establishes the groundwork for healthy relationships grounded in mutual respect. Therefore, take the necessary actions to reclaim your life, rediscover your self-esteem, and distance yourself from those who have not honored you as you deserve. In doing so, you will come to understand that you have always been the central figure in your own narrative. Once you regain your personal power, you will effortlessly attract the respect and admiration that you have always deserved. Keep in mind the wisdom of Seneca: no one can bind you without your consent. If you have reached this point and found this video insightful, we invite you to share your thoughts. Please leave a comment below stating, "Reclaim my power," to let us know how this content has impacted you. Your input is invaluable and plays a crucial role in enabling us to produce even more beneficial content. We appreciate your support. Now let's proceed to point number 4. Here's a fundamental truth grounded in Stoic philosophy. When a woman shows you disrespect, it frequently arises from her perception of having control over your feelings. She recognizes your reliance on her, your readiness to conform to her desires, and she exploits this to her benefit. You need to acknowledge your role in permitting this situation to continue. Stoicism teaches us that mastering our thoughts and actions is essential. While you cannot alter another person's behavior, you have the power to choose your reactions. To escape this pattern of disrespect, it is crucial to demonstrate to both her and yourself that you are not subject to her caprices. You possess options, and you are unafraid to utilize them. Frequently, men develop an emotional reliance on women, remaining perpetually available and waiting, which only strengthens her perception that she can behave as she wishes. A composed approach in this scenario is to uphold your principles. Clearly communicate that you seek a relationship founded on mutual respect rather than manipulation. If she opts to play games or partake in actions that diminish your self-esteem, do not hesitate to let her go. Focus your energy on seeking a partner who shares your values and appreciates you for your true self. This choice is not about manipulation. It is about taking back your power and establishing boundaries that honor your self-respect. Departing from a toxic environment conveys a powerful message. You recognize your value and refuse to accept anything less. If she genuinely cares for you, she will come to understand that her disrespectful actions are driving you away and that you are ready to seek a relationship with someone who appreciates you. Picture a situation where you assertively and calmly express that you will not accept being treated as an option. You convey your commitment to seeking a genuine connection, and if she cannot provide the respect you deserve, you are prepared to move on. This marks a significant turning point, as the dynamics change. You are no longer the one pleading for her focus. Instead, she recognizes you as a man who upholds his values and will not allow himself to be emotionally controlled. This change in dynamics frequently leads to feelings of regret. When she recognizes that you refuse to be manipulated or disrespected, she may start to appreciate the genuine worth of what she stands to lose. The respect she previously withheld transforms into something she understands she needs to earn. This situation isn't about being elusive, rather, it illustrates that you value yourself enough not to permit anyone to mistreat you. Keep in mind that you are the central figure in this situation. You deserve a partner who recognizes and cherishes your value rather than one who undermines it. Moving forward is not merely a means of protecting yourself. It is a statement of your dedication to living by your own principles. Avoid dwelling on the past, as your future offers the potential for a relationship that genuinely respects your true self. Step 5 is to recognize the strength found in letting go. While this may be the hardest step, it is also the most freeing. Do not be afraid to release her. Stoicism teaches us that we should not allow external factors to disrupt our inner tranquility. Frequently, the feelings of disdain and disrespect you are facing indicate that the relationship has run its course, and clinging to it will only lead to further suffering. The anxiety of losing someone or facing solitude can obscure your perspective, hindering your ability to acknowledge the truth of your situation. Releasing attachments is not a sign of defeat or vulnerability. Rather, it is a powerful expression of strength and self-esteem. It reflects your awareness of your own value, your right to better circumstances, and your deservingness of respect and dignity. If she is not prepared to offer you that, it may be time to move on. The reluctance to do so often stems from a deep-seated fear or anxiety about not finding someone better or the possibility of being alone indefinitely. However, the reality is that by releasing this attachment, you open up opportunities for new relationships with individuals who truly value and respect you for your authentic self, rather than merely for what you can offer. Think about this. When you truly let go and free yourself from the fear that has confined you, it is often at that moment that she begins to understand what she has lost. She will sense the emptiness created by your absence, and if there were any true feelings remaining, she may come to regret the contempt and choices that brought you to this situation. However, it's important to remember that letting go is not intended to instill regret in her. It is primarily about restoring your own well-being. The focus is on liberating yourself from circumstances that deplete your energy and obstruct your joy. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of concentrating on what lies within our control, namely, our thoughts, actions, and responses. By releasing what no longer serves you, you reclaim authority over your life and emotions, freeing yourself from being influenced by the behaviors or mindsets of others. It's not merely about leaving behind, it's about moving forward to become a better version of yourself. Don't allow fear to hinder your progress. Releasing what no longer benefits you can signal the start of a more rewarding phase in your life. Have the bravery to let go, and you may discover that life has much greater things in store for you. Above all, keep in mind that you are never truly alone. Letting go of what no longer serves you paves the way for new opportunities, meaningful relationships, and a life where you are appreciated for your authentic self. Ultimately, true strength is not about making her regret her decision, but rather about having the courage to progress with dignity and self-worth. Number 6. Foster a life independent of the relationship. A significant error that many men make is focusing their entire existence on a relationship, particularly when they encounter disrespect or contempt from their partner. The natural inclination may be to intensify efforts to salvage the relationship, believing that through sufficient sacrifice, unwavering commitment, or demonstrating their value, they can regain her love and respect. This way of thinking can be a perilous pitfall, one that Stoics would strongly advise you to steer clear of. Stoic philosophy teaches that the secret to a meaningful life lies in concentrating on what you can control and releasing what you cannot. By allowing a relationship to become the central focus of your life, you relinquish your power to someone who no longer appreciates it. This act of neglecting oneself is perceived as a flaw, not only by her, but more crucially, by you. It diminishes your self-esteem and perpetuates the negative patterns that are already established. Take this scenario into account. You are a talented artisan, capable of producing exquisite creations. Rather than refining your skills and constructing something significant, you exhaust all your efforts attempting to fix a malfunctioning tool that has lost its utility. Investing excessive time in a situation can limit your ability to develop new and meaningful experiences. This principle also holds true for a relationship that has turned into a source of suffering and disrespect. The more effort you invest in it, the more you may overlook your personal growth and potential. Thus, the Stoic perspective encourages you to shift your focus towards enhancing your own life, moving beyond the limitations of this challenging relationship. Concentrate on your personal growth, whether that involves progressing in your career, following your interests, or participating in hobbies that bring you happiness. Cultivate your current friendships, forge new relationships, and explore opportunities that expand your perspectives. In doing so, you show that your joy and sense of fulfillment are not reliant on the validation of others. This change in perspective not only aids in rebuilding your self-esteem, but also conveys a strong message. You are not someone who pleads for respect. Rather, you are an individual who earns it by leading a life filled with purpose and integrity. When she observes that you are no longer acting as a needy partner, desperately holding on to a relationship that is unfulfilling, the dynamics will start to change. She may begin to reflect on her own actions and feel remorse for her actions towards you. However, the key takeaway is this: the real triumph is not found in her feelings of regret, but in your personal growth. By nurturing a life that is abundant and satisfying, independent of any relationship, you restore the clarity and strength needed to recognize what is truly important. You will be ready to advance with dignity, whether that involves offering her another opportunity or leaving without looking back. Keep in mind that the Stoics remind us that our real strength is found within ourselves. By concentrating on what you can influence, your actions, personal development, and mindset, you liberate yourself from the burdens of negativity and transform into a person who earns the respect and admiration of others effortlessly. The most rewarding aspect? You will no longer need to seek anyone's respect. You will have earned it by staying true to yourself. Number 7. Embrace total detachment. One of the most effective approaches to counter a woman's indifference is to adopt total detachment, a concept that is fundamentally grounded in Stoic philosophy. Detachment here goes beyond simply appearing indifferent. It involves developing authentic emotional independence. This approach goes beyond mere strategy. It represents a fundamental change in your perspective. It requires a transformation in how you view both yourself and your circumstances. To be frank, achieving detachment can be difficult, particularly when emotions are at play. You may still have lingering feelings for her, but it's essential to recognize this Stoic reality. Your happiness and peace of mind should not be contingent upon her behavior. Detachment serves as a means to regain control over your emotions and, in turn, the circumstances surrounding you. Consider a scenario where a woman frequently manipulates your feelings, causing you to pursue her whenever she pulls away. This behavior provides her with a sense of dominance, leading her to believe she has power over you. However, by embracing the Stoic principle of detachment, you disrupt this pattern. When you cease to let her actions impact you, the relationship dynamic changes. She loses the power she previously held over you, which can be a significant blow to her self-esteem. Practicing Stoic detachment allows you to stay calm and collected, no matter how she acts. You stop responding to her provocations and no longer look for her validation or approval. You carry on with your life as though her actions have no impact on you. This exemplifies the true strength of Stoic detachment. By remaining unaffected, you convey that your self-esteem is not reliant on her views or behavior. Reflect on the teachings of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who emphasized the importance of concentrating solely on what is within our control, our thoughts and actions. By embracing this principle, you demonstrate to her that her efforts to control or manipulate you are in vain. She will recognize that she no longer has the upper hand, which will likely disturb her. When a woman understands that she can no longer influence your feelings, it prompts her to reevaluate her behavior. Your newfound indifference encourages her to think about how she has interacted with you. She starts to realize that her disrespectful behavior and manipulative tactics could result in losing you completely, a consequence she probably never expected. Nobody enjoys losing something they once overlooked, particularly when they come to appreciate its worth too late. Upholding this calm detachment is crucial, not only for restoring your self-respect, but also for commanding the respect you rightfully deserve. It demonstrates to her that you are not her emotional plaything, but rather a man who recognizes his worth and will not be swayed by manipulation. When she fully realizes that you are no longer in her life, she might find herself in an unexpected situation, attempting to win you back. Therefore, maintain your emotional distance. Allow your behavior and your composed, unaffected attitude to convey your message more powerfully than words ever could. This approach not only helps you regain control, but also strengthens the respect you hold in any relationship. This encapsulates the core of Stoic philosophy as it relates to contemporary relationships. By gaining control over yourself, you gain control over the circumstances. Point number 8, the importance of self-respect. To be explicit, the most impactful method to make a woman feel remorse for not respecting you is to first develop and exhibit steadfast self-respect. According to Stoicism, the way others interact with you frequently mirrors your own self-perception and how you treat yourself. If you have permitted disrespect to enter your relationship, it is important to understand that this behavior not only reflects her actions, but also indicates your own standards and sense of self-worth. Stoicism emphasizes that we have control over our responses, rather than the actions of those around us. The foundation of restoring respect is rooted in your response choices. By enhancing your self-respect, you establish a benchmark that others must adhere to in order to stay in your life. This approach is not about arrogance or self-importance. Rather, it involves recognizing your inherent worth and rejecting anything that undermines it. Take a moment to evaluate your boundaries. Are they well-defined and resolute? Do they demonstrate the level of respect you have for yourself? For instance, if a woman frequently belittles or tries to manipulate you, a Stoic approach would involve addressing the situation in a composed and straightforward manner. You could express, "I appreciate our relationship, but I also prioritize my self-respect. The current dynamics do not reflect the respect I have for myself." This concise yet impactful statement clarifies your expectations and places the responsibility on her. By maintaining these standards, you not only earn the respect of those around you, but also strengthen your own sense of self-worth. This often leads the woman to reflect on her actions, recognizing that she has overstepped a boundary that you will not permit to be crossed again. She may begin to appreciate the firmness of your stance, and consequently feel remorse for her behavior. Ultimately, respect is a reciprocal relationship, but it must begin with you. When you cultivate a profound sense of self-respect, others will inevitably be compelled to respect you as well, or they may face the possibility of losing you entirely. This embodies the core of Stoic philosophy. Upholding your values, maintaining your composure, and giving others the opportunity to acknowledge the standards you have established. Number 9. Put yourself first. We have arrived at the concluding point, which is the most difficult and crucial choice you will encounter in your quest to restore your dignity and self-worth. Put yourself first. During this journey of seeking respect and navigating the disdain of others, there is a tough truth that many hesitate to confront. You should never have to struggle so intensely to gain someone else's respect. The decision you face is not centered on her or whether she will come to understand what she has lost. Instead, it revolves around you and the way you decide to lead your life. Prioritizing yourself is the most impactful and definitive step you can take. It signifies that you acknowledge your value and refuse to exchange your dignity and self-respect for mere tokens of attention. By putting yourself first, you convey a strong and unwavering message to the universe. I am sufficient. I am whole. I will only welcome what enriches and appreciates me into my life. This is the decisive turning point. By prioritizing yourself, you shut out all the negativity, disrespect, and emotional manipulation that have exhausted you for far too long. You liberate yourself to embrace your true self, chase what you truly deserve, and reject anything that falls short of that. When you decide to prioritize yourself, you initiate a transformative journey where you become the central figure, placing your needs, aspirations, and well-being at the forefront. Reflect on the principles of Stoicism, which emphasize that our true strength is found in managing our responses rather than trying to control the behavior of others. By focusing on your own well-being, you are not merely distancing yourself from someone who fails to show you respect. You are embodying the Stoic ideal of self-governance. You are deciding to concentrate on aspects within your control, your actions, your thoughts, and your self-respect. Picture this scenario. You have been dedicating all your energy to someone who hardly recognizes your contributions. They overlook your efforts, assuming you will always be available and patient. However, you are now redirecting your attention. You begin to channel that energy into yourself, exploring your interests and passions. You prioritize your well-being and choose to be around individuals who truly appreciate you. As a result, the dynamics shift. The person who previously disrespected you starts to recognize this change. They understand that you are no longer at their disposal. They feel the absence of your attention and support, leading to a sense of regret. In that instant, they realize what they have lost, as you have demonstrated that your value does not rely on their acknowledgement. This is the way to make a woman realize the importance of respecting you. It's not about convincing her to change her perspective, but rather about shifting your own attention. By improving yourself, you inherently separate from those who fail to recognize your value, thus allowing only those who genuinely appreciate you to come into your life. As we conclude this discussion, keep in mind that the respect, dignity, and value you desire in your relationships are defined not by the behavior of others, but by your own self-perception. If there is a key takeaway from today, it is this: you should never have to fight for what is inherently yours. The most significant choice you can make is to put yourself first. There is no greater victory than this. When you focus on your own needs and refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve, your surroundings begin to transform. People who fail to recognize your value will distance themselves, while those who truly appreciate your worth will come closer. This change starts from within, and it is solely up to you to take the first step. The strength to mold your life according to your desires resides within you. If you have reached this point and found this video insightful, we would appreciate your thoughts. Please leave a comment below stating, "Put myself first," to share how this content has impacted you. Your input is invaluable and assists us in producing even more beneficial content. I appreciate your support. Now let's move forward. We have embarked on a transformative journey through Stoic wisdom designed for individuals eager to restore their dignity and self-respect in their relationships. As we have discussed, respect cannot be purchased or pleaded for. It is cultivated through self-worth and a firm dedication to your values. Stoicism transcends mere philosophical theory. This guide serves as a valuable resource, encouraging us to concentrate on what lies within our control, our behaviors and mindset. It's important to recognize that your true value is determined not by others' opinions, but by the inner strength and self-respect you develop. By adopting Stoic principles, you foster relationships that prioritize self-respect before seeking it from others. If you found this video meaningful, please remember to like and share it. Your participation enables us to connect with a wider audience that could gain from these teachings. We invite you to share your thoughts or experiences about the influence of Stoicism on relationships in the comments below. We are eager to learn how these strategies have affected your life. Additionally, if you're looking for more insights, don't forget to explore the suggested videos currently displayed on your screen. These resources are designed to deepen your comprehension and implementation of Stoic principles in daily life. We appreciate your participation. Keep in mind that the journey to self-respect and worth starts with a single intentional step towards recognizing your inherent value. Subscribe to receive updates on our newest content. Here's to leading a life filled with dignity and respect. Until we meet again, take care and remain stoic.